Thanks for visiting thehandyhomemaker.com here on my YouTube channel. Today I will show you how I make Rosette cookies. These cookies make wonderful hostess, Mother's Day, or teacher gifts. You don't need fancy packaging as these cookies look beautiful on their own, almost too pretty to eat. However, they won't last long as they taste amazing. For Rosette cookies, you will need prepared, cooled, round or scalloped sugar cookies, icing bags, a star tip for the rosette, I'm using a 1M, and leaf tips 67 or 69. If you don't have any leaf tips on hand, no worries, no need to buy one. I will show you how I make leaves in a pinch using only a disposable icing bag and a pair of scissors. Start by cutting from the point up the edge of the flattened tip of the icing bag. You will only want to remove about 1/4 inch of the edge of the bag. Repeat on the next side. This will leave you with a small V-point that is open on both sides. You are now ready to fill your bag with icing. When making the rosettes, I use very thick royal icing. For the leaves, I like to thin my recipe slightly. 1 cup of icing to 1 teaspoon of water. I find this makes the leaves lay smoother on the cookie, which helps as part of the leaves will be covered by the rosette icing anyhow. To make the leaf shape, gently apply pressure and then slowly move the icing bag tip in a slight side-to-side motion. Apply more pressure at the base, releasing pressure as you pull out and then stopping pressure as you pull away from the tip of the leaf. The tip usually always forms with royal icing. However, sometimes with buttercreams, you may need to pinch the ends to get that shape. Repeat for both leaves. Do not lift or move your cookie once you are finished, as some of the icing may have gone over the edge of your cookie and onto the parchment paper. You will be able to move it and the icing should stay put once it's completely dried. Now, how to use the star tip to make this beautiful rosette. To make the center bud of the rosette, gently press a small star shape in the center of the cookie without releasing pressure or lifting up. You will then need to continue to wrap the center bud by adding layers of icing which slightly flow into the last. This helps it look more like a rose versus a swirl on an ice cream cone. As you near the end, release pressure and pull the tip slightly through the last layer of the icing on the rosette and pull away. This may take a small amount of practice. Place a sheet of parchment on the counter or tray and practice making the rosettes and leaf shapes. If you scrape up the icing immediately before it has a chance to crust over, you can place it back in your icing bag. Let's try this again. Starting with your center bud, place a small amount of icing in the center of your cookie. Gently start wrapping immediately without lifting or releasing pressure, slightly touching each layer into the last until you get to the edge of the cookie where you will release pressure, go into the edge of the cookie and pull away. Using royal icing with these cookies allows me to stack them once hardened. I place in a cellophane bag, tie off with a ribbon, and attach a thank you note. Of course, you can still use buttercream, you just may not be able to stack them. For my royal icing and sugar cookie recipes, please visit thehandyhomemaker.com or click the link below. And thank you for visiting The Handy Homemaker on YouTube.